1.
Okay, this is way number 5 to pass the chemistry regents. When you think of elements, think of things that cannot be broken down or decomposed by chemical means. An element is a matter in its simplest form. Contrast this with compounds, which are two or more different elements chemically combined. If they're chemically combined, it means they can be chemically broken down, usually by some sort of decomposition. This will often require you to use table S to isolate elements that you're not necessarily familiar with. So you should have that at the ready in case you don't know which one of the answer choices consists of an element. So let's try some sample regions questions that deal with this idea. Which two substances cannot be broken down by chemical change? So think about the idea and pause the video to consider which is the correct answer. Okay, for this question, you should consider which ones show elements. And remember, elements are those things that are not chemically combined with some other element on the periodic table. So you see, the only one that fits that category is answer choice B, because here we have C, which is carbon, and Cu, which is copper. If you don't know what these elements stand for, you can just consult table S, which shows you the list of elements of all in the periodic table. Both answer choice A, C, and D feature some sort of compound, and you know it's a compound because it shows the element symbols next to each other. Let's try another one. Which substance can be decomposed by chemical means? Pause the video, consider the idea, and think about what the correct answer is. Okay, we know the answer has to be methane. And why is it methane? Well, answer choices 1, 2, and 4 are all elements on the periodic table. Remember, elements cannot be broken down or decomposed by chemical means. So what you're looking for is a compound. And if you don't know what methane is, you'll learn that in the organic chemistry unit, that methane is actually a combination of C and H. Specifically, it's CH4. So you know that compounds like CH4 can be decomposed into their element constituents. Let's try another problem. Which substance cannot be broken down by a chemical change? Okay, when you think substance that cannot be broken down by a chemical change, you should immediately think which one shows an element. And the only element shown in the answer choice is gold. Water consists of H2O, so that can be broken down by chemical means. Propene and butanol, you'll learn in the organic chemistry unit that they're actually a hydrocarbon, which means it consists of carbon and hydrogen. So those are compounds and therefore can be broken down into their elements. Gold is the only element on this table, therefore it is the only substance that cannot be broken down by a chemical change. Let's try another one. Which statement explains why water is classified as a compound? Okay, what makes something a compound? Well, remember, a compound is when you have two or more elements chemically bonded to one another. And you know the water consists of H2O, hydrogen and oxygen chemically bonded to each other. You also learn from this idea that chemical compounds can be broken down into their elemental parts. All the others, water is a liquid, water has a heat of fusion, water is a poor conductor, those are all physical properties and don't involve any kind of chemical change. Therefore, the answer choice has to be 1. Let's try another one. Which substance cannot be broken down by a chemical change? Okay, when you think substance that cannot be broken down by chemical change, you should immediately think element. If you look on table S, the list of all the elements on the periodic table, the only element featured on that table is tungsten. Both ammonia, ethanol, and water are all compounds consisting of either hydrogen, oxygen, or some combination of carbon and hydrogen, or in the case of ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen. So the only possible answer is the element tungsten. Look at this next problem. Which type of matter cannot be broken down into simpler substance by a chemical change? Okay, remember, elements are the only things that cannot be broken down by any chemical means. They're matter in its simplest form, so the answer has to be an element. If you recall, a solution is a mixture of two substances, one dissolved into the other. A mixture is a combination of two or more substances that are not chemically bonded, and compounds are two or more different elements chemically combined, which means they can be broken down by chemical means. So the answer is one. Okay, I hope this helps. Thank you.